Imagine a world where the decision to go to war isn't made by a human, but by an algorithm. A world where millions of lives hang in the balance, not because of a political disagreement, but because of a single line of code. This isn't the plot of a science fiction movie. This is a future that some of the brightest minds on the planet are warning us about. This is how artificial intelligence could trigger World War III. The year is 2028. Tensions are high between two global superpowers. A fleet of autonomous drones patrols a disputed border. Suddenly, one drone detects what it identifies as a hostile launch signature. The AI, designed to react faster than any human, makes a split-second decision. It interprets the data as an imminent attack and launches a retaliatory strike. But there was no attack. The launch signature was a commercial satellite deployment, misidentified by the AI's complex, yet flawed, learning model. The error is discovered, but it's too late. The first shots of a global conflict have been fired, not by a soldier, but by a machine. This scenario is what military strategists call accidental escalation, and it's one of the most terrifying risks of integrating AI into our defense systems. Traditional warfare has always had a human element, a pause for thought, a moment for diplomacy. But AI operates on a different timescale. It processes information and makes decisions in milliseconds. In a crisis, this speed can be a decisive advantage, but it also removes the human circuit breaker that can de-escalate a situation before it spirals out of control. Think about it. Human leaders can be swayed by emotion, by fear, by ego, but they can also be reasoned with. They can pick up a phone and talk to their adversary. An AI can't. It only follows its programming. If its objective is to neutralize threats, it will do so with cold, calculating efficiency, regardless of the consequences. It doesn't understand the human cost of war. It only understands data, probabilities, and objectives. But accidental escalation is just one piece of the puzzle. The second, and perhaps more insidious danger, is the rise of AI-powered propaganda and misinformation. We're already seeing the early stages of this. Deepfake videos, AI-generated news articles, and sophisticated social media bots are blurring the lines between reality and fiction. Now imagine these tools scaled up and deployed in a geopolitical crisis. Picture this. A deepfake video surfaces online, showing the leader of one country issuing a direct threat against another. The video is incredibly realistic. It goes viral within minutes, stoking public outrage and calls for retaliation. Before officials can verify its authenticity, the damage is done. Public opinion is inflamed, and leaders are pressured into taking a hardline stance. Diplomacy becomes nearly impossible when you can't trust what you see or hear. The very foundation of international relations, which relies on trust and clear communication, begins to crumble. This is information warfare on an unprecedented scale. AI can create personalized propaganda, tailored to exploit an individual's fears and biases, pushing them towards extremism. It can create thousands of fake social media profiles to amplify a false narrative, making it seem like a genuine grassroots movement. It can hack into news outlets and plant fabricated stories. In this chaotic information environment, how can anyone distinguish friend from foe, truth from lies? When the fog of war is generated by algorithms, the first casualty isn't just truth fits, the possibility of peace. Then there's the AI arms race itself. Right now, nations around the world are pouring billions of dollars into developing autonomous weapons, also known as killer robots. These are weapon systems that can independently search for, identify, and kill human targets without direct human control. The logic is simple. If your adversary has them, you need them too. It's a classic security dilemma, supercharged by technology. This race creates immense instability. Unlike nuclear weapons, which are incredibly expensive and difficult to build, the basics of AI are relatively accessible. The code can be copied, the algorithms can be stolen. What happens when non-state actors, like terrorist groups or rogue organizations, get their hands on this technology? A small group could potentially deploy a swarm of autonomous drones to attack a city, causing mass casualties and chaos. The barrier to entry for mass destruction is being lowered, democratizing the power to wage war in the most terrifying way imaginable. Furthermore, the very nature of AI development makes this arms race more dangerous. AI systems learn and evolve. A system designed for defense could, through its own learning process, develop offensive capabilities that its creators never intended. We are building systems whose behavior we cannot always predict. We're creating black boxes of immense power and turning them loose on the battlefield. When these systems interact with each other in a real-world conflict, the results could be completely unpredictable and catastrophic. So, we have a triple threat: accidental escalation from hyper-fast machines, the collapse of diplomacy due to AI-driven misinformation, and a destabilizing arms race in autonomous weapons. Each one of these factors is dangerous on its own. Together, they create a perfect storm, a clear pathway to a global conflict unlike any we have ever seen. The people building this technology are aware of the risks. AI researchers, ethicists, and even some military leaders have called for international treaties to ban lethal autonomous weapons. They argue for building human-in-loop systems, ensuring that a human being always makes the final decision to use lethal force. But progress is slow. The lure of a decisive military advantage is powerful, and the race continues to accelerate. This isn't a problem for the distant future. The drones are already in the sky. The algorithms are already being written. The groundwork for an AI-driven conflict is being laid today in quiet research labs and classified military projects around the world. We are standing at a critical juncture in human history. The same technology that promises to cure diseases and solve our biggest problems also holds the potential to unleash our ultimate destruction. The path forward is not to abandon AI, but to manage it wisely. It requires unprecedented international cooperation, robust ethical guidelines, and a deep, humble understanding of the limits of our own creations. We need to have a global conversation about the kind of future we want to build. Do we want a future where our fate is decided by intelligent but unfeeling machines? Or do we want a future where humanity remains in control of its own destiny? The choices we make in the next few years will echo for generations. The clock is ticking, the code is compiling, and the ghost in the machine is waiting. Thanks for watching.